Romania has a very unusual railway network, consisting of a large mix of different companies running old and outdated carriages or second-hand imports. Today, I'm going to be taking Regio Călători, travelling on one of their bizarre RIO Carriages, checking out the strange interior design on this train that is falling apart and in terrible condition. And what's more, I'll go into detail over the horrifying legal allegations this Romanian train company has faced. So join me as we head to Bucharest, through the dramatic Carpathian Mountains. Brașov sits in the southeastern part of Transylvania and is Romania's 6th largest city. It's a major tourist destination in the country, thanks to its good location and closeness to the Carpathian Mountains we'll be travelling through today. Now, I really love the station here in Brașov. It's probably the best one in Romania, with an imposing 1960s design and artwork depicting the city, proudly displayed on the walls. On the lower level, you'll find numerous counters. Most of these are part of the various ticket offices, with different ones for different companies, though the one I wanted to use was for some reason closed. You'll also find a small takeaway bakery and a shop here. Heading back outside to the platforms, we're met with an impressively large open space, with the brutalist station design acting as the backdrop to this typical railway scene. Despite the impression given here, Brașov is a major regional interchange, as well as being a key stop on long-distance trains across Romania. It sees services from 5 different operators, with most of these being RIO Călători, Romania's state-owned railway. There are also multiple direct services across the border to the Hungarian capital, Budapest, mostly running by night. Unfortunately, like a lot of Romania's railway network, Brașov station was in poor condition, with overgrown vegetation and a lot of deteriorating facilities. Let's hope the ongoing construction works do something about this soon. Anyway, my train today is the 12:15 Regio Călători service to Bucharest North, departing from platform 1. Regio Călători is one of the many private operators in Romania, using a variety of second-hand trains from Western Europe, and this strange-looking consist is no exception. The company, previously known as Regiotrans, has been subject to numerous severe legal struggles since its launch in 2005. Back in 2015, the company's safety certificate was revoked, leaving many lines with no service at all for weeks on end. As well as this, one of the senior management team was facing a corruption inquiry over alleged subsidy irregularities, subsequently fleeing to Colombia, later being found by law enforcement in an airplane toilet on the way to Costa Rica. It's safe to say I have no idea what I'm getting myself into for this trip. This train is second-hand from France, with the locomotive design dating back to the 1960s. This BB25500 series is a French classic, and now spends its days hauling so-called RIO carriages from the 1970s. This example has been heavily rebuilt, resulting in a very unusual interior configuration that I'll show you around soon. The train is mostly second class, with seats being in a 2+2 layout, with no seat reservations available, allowing you to choose a seat upon boarding. I sat here in seat 36, a forward-facing solo seat. Note the strange jet engine sound when the train is not moving. Let me know in the comments if you know what's making this noise. Today's route sees us heading south, winding down the Prahova Valley through the Carpathian Mountains to the major city of Ploiești, before continuing from here to the capital, arriving at Bucharest North. Journey time is 3 hours 8 minutes, covering 166 kilometres. We depart Brașov on time, beginning this journey south aboard Regio Călători. It's not long before the Carpathians come into view, the mountains in which we'll be spending much of the next 2 hours. But before we get there, let's have a look at the interior. This train mostly has 2+2 seating, though due to the strange layout there are a lot of single seats, resulting in bays of 3 or even private seats like this. These seats are pretty comfortable, featuring a lot of padding, with reasonable back support, and a slightly winged headrest. Each seat has folding armrests, which were of a reasonable size. Legroom is also pretty good, especially in these single seats that really allow for a lot of space. However, one thing to note is the lack of a seatback table. Instead, personal items can be kept in the nook next to the seat, or in the bay seats on the small table. But this is, of course, no good for getting any work done. We're now pulling into our first station, Pial. This station always stands out for me thanks to its impressive triangular design. So much so, in fact, that I actually paid a visit on a later trip, which was really interesting. The station's name actually comes from the Slavic predel, meaning border, with this town serving as the border between Wallachia and Austria-Hungary before World War I. We continue through the Prahova Valley, with this being the only railway south through the mountains for about 100 kilometers. This area is an incredibly popular tourist destination, almost every stop along the way serving a different resort town. And whilst by summer the area is known for its hiking trails, its main forte is the winter ski season. The stations along this route are absolutely amazing too, with many of them looking like cozy mountain homes. Larger stations, such as Sinaia, achieve an even more spectacular feel, with grand and historic structures beautifully preserved. Now let's have a look around the rest of the train. In the rear carriage is a small first-class section, featuring 2+1 seating, though for some reason, first class doesn't actually have any windows, making it a rather poor choice. Toilets are located throughout the train. This toilet was in good condition during the journey. The soap was working fine, though unfortunately no more than a gentle drip of water was available. Paper towels were available for drying your hands. Since being imported from France, this train has received a lot of modifications. Perhaps most noticeable is the fitment of air conditioning, definitely massively appreciated on a day like this. There were also major external rebuilds, with new windows and even a new driver's cab. Power sockets are also available, annoyingly located up here above the seats. And this is also where you'll find the coat hooks. As well as major resort towns, the train also passes through smaller halts, such as this one in Posada. Whilst this is just a small village today, it was once the location of the Battle of Posada in 1330, securing the existence of the Wallachian state. Now that we're out of the valley, our speed can finally build. Well, everything's relative, of course. We are now in Ploiești, the largest city we'll serve en route. The city has two major stations, the west station we've called at, and the south station under 3 kilometers away. Of course, as a train that serves such major tourist destinations, you'd hope that there would be plenty of luggage storage, and that is indeed the case, if you'll pardon the pun. Whilst the overhead luggage racks are fairly small, the vestibule areas feature large shelves. Unfortunately, this train was in poor condition, with numerous smashed up windows and sharp edges as a result of wear and tear. My seat cushion was not even attached properly. Further to this, any windows that weren't damaged were absolutely filthy, a huge shame when travelling on routes that look like this. Sadly, such poor conditions are very common on most Romanian trains across various operators. So, what's next for Regio Călători? Romania has recently ordered 100 brand new trains that will be made available to operators across the country seeking to run government contracts on these select long-distance routes. There's no question that Regio Călători has had a rough history, and I, for one, wish them the best of luck in turning that around in the future. We're now in the city of Bucharest, and our journey is coming to an end. But we've still got one more surprise to go before we arrive. These trains can run along with their doors wide open, with many of the locals taking this as a chance to have a smoke break. So how much did this trip cost? I bought my ticket on the train and paid 24 Romanian lei. I think this is a great price for a 3-hour train journey, even if the quality isn't the best in Europe. We finally arrive into Bucharest Nord, Romania's biggest train station, 3 minutes late at 15:26. Overall, this was a pretty good journey with Regio Călători. Despite the train being in a somewhat poor condition, I had a comfortable journey and a view of some incredible scenery. And we even arrived nearly on time. Romania is full of old trains, just like this one, and is even home to the oldest sleeper train in Europe. This beautiful 60-year-old carriage was certainly an experience that I won't be forgetting anytime soon. And you can see why that is by clicking up here now.